There is one thing that I can promise you is super, super, uber important to making sales on Poshmark. And when I say it, you're going to be like, yeah, Rebecca, I get it. But today I'm going to share with you the importance and also how I come up with these things. So the thing is keywords. And so I know that you're like, blah, blah, Rebecca, I get it, keywords, whatever. But whether you're new or whether you are a seasoned seller that is full-time or part-time, it doesn't matter. We all can do better with keywords, myself included. And so today I'm going to share with you how do I find the best keywords to include in my listings to get items sold on Poshmark. Download your free reseller resource guide today. I constantly update and share with you discounts, favorites, tools, and resources to help you with your reselling business. After the video, click the link in the description and get your totally free guide today. So first things first, there's two things that go into making sales on Poshmark at a very basic level. One is keywords on your listings, because if you have the right keyword on your listing and someone searches for that keyword in their search, you will come up. So a keyword pulls you into someone's search. Now, the second important thing is sharing, because if you share within the last couple of minutes, your item's going to be closer to the top because the default is just shared. So when someone searches, you get pulled in by the keyword, you get pulled to the top based on when you share. If you shared hours ago, you're going to be at the bottom. Somebody's going to really need to scroll to find your item. Likely that's not going to happen because you have a J.Crew dress. 3,800 other sellers have that same exact J.Crew dress in that same style. And so if you shared 3 hours ago, yours is going to be at the bottom. And 3,799 dresses are going to be ahead of yours because they shared more recently than you did. It's that simple. Like, it is that simple. So if you have the right keyword, you're pulled into the search. If you share the most recently, you'll be at the top of the search. That will basically get you the opportunity to be showcased in front of the buyer. The buyer then has to determine, based on cover photos and prices or whatever other filters they apply to that search, what they want to consider in their buying decision. If you have garbage photos, they're going to skip over yours. If you have a crazy price, they're going to skip over yours. They might like some items and then look at those further. They might click into something based on cover photo and go forward with it. So every buyer buys differently. That's not what this video is about. But keywords and sharing get you pulled in to be considered further, and you can't make a sale unless you're considered further. So just by adding one keyword to a listing, you could make the sale. So I remember a long time ago, I learned about buttery leather, and that was a good keyword at the time. I didn't know to call leather buttery. It just means very soft. And so I went through all of my leather items and I added the keyword buttery. And like a day or so later, one of them had sold. And I was like, like that is amazing, because I would have never known about buttery. I was watching some other YouTube. I actually think it was El Ducho Thrift, Denali. I think it was her. And I'm pretty sure I learned that term from her. And so it was pretty cool because I saw firsthand the power of learning a new keyword, applying it to your listing, going back and applying it to old listings, obviously using it on new ones, and then seeing that that could affect the sale in a very short period of time. And I think we all kind of forget about that. And I think that we know the basics, but we don't know all of the other keywords, or we don't continue to find new keywords, or we get lazy and we just want to get the listing up and we say we're going to go back and add keywords and we don't. And there's just a lot of things that I see with keywords, whether I'm doing a coaching call or a Poshmark closet review or just shopping myself, whatever, doing research. I see lots and lots of listings. And even with my own, I'm guilty of it. I won't, my VA will make my listing for me and I won't always add in the keywords. I'll wait to see if it sells. And if it doesn't sell, then I'll go in and add keywords. And that's a strategy I do purposefully, but then I do go in later and add more keywords. But sometimes, especially if I have items that are like all similar, like I bought a box Untuck It shirts from Boutique by the Box. So they're all similar. They're the same brand. They're the same kind of button front shirt. And so I went through and I made a little list of keywords that would apply to all of them because they were all, so I did button front, button up, button front, button down, preppy, casual, collar. I made a little list of like keywords that will apply to all of them. Then I just copied and pasted it into all of them and then applied the other ones like color and style that was individual for each one. So everyone has a different way that they do it, but I wanted to share with you a couple of ways I look for keywords and find out about keywords so that I bring them into my worldview. So I have 5. The first one is years ago, I made a keywords list because before I got a virtual assistant, I was doing listings myself. I'm not very fashiony, as you can tell. And so I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know all the keywords. So I did a lot of research about all the different necklines, and I found the style guides, and I did all the sleeve lengths and all the silhouettes for dresses and all the way pants are, and you know, just whatever keywords I can find, I compiled them all into a list. And it didn't have pictures or anything because I had already looked them up, so I knew what they meant. I just needed a list to be a trigger so that I could have an item that I'm listing and I'm like it's a top. What else do I have to say? And you kind of like forget all the things that you can add. So then I made the list and then I would go down the list. Does it have this? Does it have this? Yes, it has that. Type that keyword. No, it doesn't have that. Does it have this? Yes. Okay. And so it's just like a reminder, like a trigger list. Like, yes, here's a 300 words, 400 words that I pulled together that could possibly explain this item, but I'm going to go down the list and see which ones actually do relate to this item. And that was extremely helpful for me. So that's where I started. I have that keywords list available in my Rebecca the Reseller Academy as a digital download. You could purchase it just on its own. I think I have it for $5. I used to sell it for much more. And then once a lot of people bought it, I said, okay, you know, I've made enough money on it. I can just make them cheaper now. So I think it's up for $5. But the best thing to do is to get the best value bundle, which is everything. It's all 4 of my courses, all of my digital downloads for $20. Instead of spending $5 on one thing, you might as well spend $20 and get everything. And anytime I add something new, you'll get it. So I would start with a keywords list. Now you don't have to get mine. You could make your own. But I think having a list, if this is an area that you struggle with, having a list is helpful so that you don't forget anything. So that was step 1. Step 2 would be as you learn more words, you don't always need to look at the list. You can just go off the top of your head. So that's really like learn more words, incorporate them into your mind, and then you can just kind of like, right now I can look at something and like blah, 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 and in 5 minutes, I have a pretty good detailed listing with tons of keywords. I might miss 1 or 2, but for the most part, it will be a very comprehensive list of keywords on a listing just off the top of my head without the list. So that's kind of like the next level. The next thing that I started incorporating are synonyms. So maxi versus long. This is another way to say the same thing. Floor length would be also. So like if you have a formal dress, it's a maxi dress, it's a long dress, and it's a floor length dress. Each buyer that's looking for that dress could search something different. And I show this in my keywords videos, my crazy keywords videos. I show all the crazy, weird, random things that people use to describe items and what they search for. And so being familiar with what it is from like a fashion perspective is good so that you can sell your item. But being familiar with what buyers are actually searching for is also important. So I'm sorry, I actually skipped, I kind of combined them. So synonyms is one, I'll come back to that. That was crazy keywords video. So that's another way to find them. That was the 4th one. So going back to the 3rd one, synonyms is really more about like if you have athleisure, athletic, workout, running, shorts, you know, so all those words mean the same thing basically. Or goldenrod and mustard. I don't really know the difference. You don't really know the difference. Neither one of us are Pantone color experts. So somebody searching for it doesn't know the difference either, but somebody knows goldenrod and then somebody else knows mustard. And yes, they're definitely different colors, but they mean the same thing on an item. Or salmon and coral, or burgundy and merlot. It's the same reddish brown kind of color, reddish brownish purple. I want to make you aware of the hottest, the best deal I have ever offered in my Rebecca the Reseller Academy. To find it, all you have to do is scroll all the way down to the bottom and you will find this right here. Hot deal, best value, all courses and digital downloads for life. This is it, friends. This is as good as it's going to get. I'm giving you everything I have in my academy, all the digital downloads, all the courses for just $20. The best part is if I create a new digital download going forward, you will get it absolutely free. This is the time to lock in the best deal I have ever offered. All you have to do is go to Rebecca the Reseller Academy, scroll down to Hot Deal, and purchase it for $20. If you're wondering what comes in this, it's everything. So you're going to get all of my courses, and you're also going to get all of the digital downloads that I've created, including my keywords list, my listing forms, my Poshmark closet signs. Everything that I have created and everything that I ever will create will be yours for literally $20. So the point is, thinking of synonyms, whether it's for color or the style or where you wear it, like work, career, professional, dress. People put those all. Someone will search for work dress. Someone will search for career dress. Someone will search for professional dress. All of these things come up. So thinking of the synonym for whatever you're saying will get you multiple options. So that can go for color, cropped, high waist, high-waisted, high rise. These are all important things. So, you definitely want to know your keywords. You want to have a list, but knowing multiple ways to say the same thing is also critical. Then the crazy keywords videos, as I said, that's another way to find what buyers are actually searching for. So you can watch my videos, but if you watch one, you don't have to watch them all. I show you exactly how to find them, and you just do that and you search for them, and then you can do research on your own. The fifth way is what I wanted to really talk about today, but I wanted to give you a comprehensive list so that way, no matter what way you're trying to find your keywords, you get a couple of options. So I have done this with these boutique wraps that I sell. I've done this with boutique belts that I sell. I've done this with designer heels. I've done this with many kinds of items. I don't do it for every item. I usually do it, like I said, with the Untuck It shirts. Like when I have several of the same kind of item, it makes it worth my time to sit down and do this particular activity to find more keywords that it would apply. So the activity is going into Poshmark and using one basic keyword to describe the item I'm talking about. So let's say I have these wraps. So it's called a ruana, but I didn't know that keyword at the time. So I called it a wrap or a blanket scarf or a shacket. Like these were all the terms that I was going to use. And so it's just like something that you put over your shoulders and you wrap around you. And so I think I searched like wrap or blanket scarf. And I found items in the available that were similar to my item. And I just opened a few tabs with items and I looked at their keywords. And I said, do I see anything here that comes up over and over again that I don't know, but that obviously applies to this item? So I found the word ruana, R-U-A-N-A. I had never heard that word before, but apparently that's exactly what you call this thing. It's a wrap. So it's called a ruana, and I added that to my listing. And that was like crucial because I have sold hundreds of these ruanas. I have them in all different colorways and all different styles, and I've sold many, many, many over the years, and I still have tons of styles available. Some have sold out, some I've restocked. It's a great option. And I love selling them, and obviously they sell mostly in winter. But if I hadn't found that keyword, I probably would not have been as successful in finding them. Now, that's looking at the availables. The gold, I think, is really, so you can learn from the availables, but then if you filter by sold, so you do that same search, you search, one word that would describe the item, look at the availables, see what you find. Then go to sold and filter by that. And then you can see all the items that sold that are similar to your listing. And this might be even better of a tell because these are items that sold. So if you see a word on those that comes up over and over again and they sold, it doesn't definitively mean that that keyword is what sold them. But there's a high probability that if you add that keyword that you didn't know that you didn't have, and now you add it from having seen it on all the solds, and you add it to your listing now, that it could help sell your item. So the example on that is these wraparound belts that I have. They're faux leather and they wrap around. So no matter what size waist, you kind of wrap it around, you can tie it. And so it will fit, it's kind of like a one size, fits most. And, I put faux leather, wrap, self-tie, wide. I had all these different keywords. I'm like, okay, this is a great list. And then I did this tactic and I went into the solds and I searched whatever, wide wraparound belt or whatever I searched. And then it came up OBI on several listings on items exactly like mine. And I was like, I don't even know what that means. But clearly, I looked it up, but clearly that is a keyword for this kind of item. And I had no idea. And since I've added that, and then I've sold tons of those belts. So again, I don't know that it's that exact keyword that sold those items, but I'm adding it along with all the other ones. It's just a few minutes of research. So do I think you should do this for every single item? No, because I think that would be very time consuming and probably not very efficient. But I think if you have a lot of a similar kind of item, or if you just really don't know a lot of keywords, then you really should probably do this in the beginning to get a feel for the kinds of items that are being sold, what keywords are describing those items, whether they're available or sold, and how they, kind of relate across listings. So if you, again, see the same 3 words on 5 different listings that are all similar to yours, you should be able to add all 3 of those words, and that can help your listing sell. And sometimes you even run into people, I've started doing this, I do usually at the top of the listing, any words that I can't fit in the title, then I'll put in the description, because the description is also searchable, and I'll put keyword, comma, keyword, comma, keyword. So sleeveless, comma, knit, comma, v-neck, comma, maxi, comma, whatever. But you can also put words at the end and call them tags and put them at the end. So you can do whatever, but I like keyword, comma, keyword at the top. And then if you're putting a lot of extra things that are like occasion, like I have fancy dresses, so I'll put, formal, gala, I don't even know, prom, all these different, like there's a million ways that you can say formal dress, whatever. I have a tags list at the bottom of those. So I found all of those by going to other similar dresses and just collecting keywords from other people's listings. And by the time I was done, I had like 50 keywords that all applied. And so it's a great way to build your knowledge, but then also identify keywords like for a subset of items. Like if you have a lot of Lily Pulitzer and you want to kind of like beach, vacation, resort wear, like what's a little tag list that you can come up with? We'll start looking for some other people's listings similar to yours, pull out the ones that you don't have, add them to your tags list, and copy and paste that on all your Lily Pulitzer. If you have faux leather items, it could say faux leather, vegan leather, pleather, if that's what it is. These are all things that you can add that mean the same thing. So I think that going over the list again, having a keywords list, just incorporating them into your general mind, going through synonyms, doing the research and crazy keywords videos that I've done in the past, or searching for keywords from other similar items on Poshmark can really bolster your keyword knowledge for yourself, but really help you add 3 to 5 to 10 additional keywords per item. And if you do that across your whole closet, and that pulls you into 10 or 20 more searches per day, you will be selling items like crazy, because you're going to all of a sudden be pulled into all of these searches that you weren't before. So that's going to give so many more eyeballs to your items. Now, is this the only thing? No, because you need to share, you need to send offers, you need to have good photos, you need to do all these other things. And I have videos on all of that. So it's not just one thing, it's the combination of all of these things. but this is a really important area. So if you are someone that struggles with keywords, I really hope this was helpful for you. Let me know in the comments below if you plan on implementing any of these, or if you have a new keyword strategy that I did not cover here. We would all love to know. And I appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! PosherVA is a tax-deductible business investment that pays for itself many times over each month. It increases Poshmark sales because it shares and sends offers more than I ever could manually. It handles all my shares, automatic offer to likers, bulk offers, and it can do price drops and relists. When my coaching clients add PosherVA, it makes more sales basically immediately. The best part is that you get your time back. More time with family, thrifting, whatever. Get 20% off with code Rebecca the Reseller and the link below.